Hello, everyone. It is Pam Grice, your crochet business coach, here to talk about CBA stuff. So I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to have a little bit of time for us to chat about the Crochetpreneur Business Academy, answer any questions you might have, and bring on some of our students to let them speak about what their experience has been like and what growing a business has been like for them. So, we're just going to get started, and I'm going to bring the ladies on. And um, here we go. There's Katie, there's Victoria, there is Tanya, there's Michelle, and there's Chanel. Here we all are. Hello, everyone. Hi, ladies. Katie's got her Business Academy Rockstar shirt on. Um, so I just thought it would be fun to have you all come on and talk a little bit about what your experience has been like inside the academy and answer any questions folks might have about starting a crochet business, how and if CBA has helped you, if it's been a good investment for you. And I'm just scrolling because I know somebody asked a question earlier. I just want to be sure. Um, I don't see it on there, but I will. I'm actually going to answer that question, and I froze.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys? Can you guys see? Okay,
Yeah.
there we are. We're back. We're back. Okay, so someone had asked, and I just want to answer this real quick. Someone had asked, how do I pick a business name without searching on Ravelry and Etsy and Facebook to see if someone else has taken it? So I'm going to answer that real quick and say you don't. You have to do the searches to see if someone else already has that business name. There's no way to know unless you do the search. So I suggest you search on all of those places. You search for the domain name, you search the trademark office website, which is, if you're in the US, tess.gov. Do a search for TESS or trademark office, trademark names, those kinds of things. I know it was breaking up. I think it's okay now. That was totally probably me and my internet. We did have snow here, so that just impacts everything. But anyway, I want to say welcome, ladies. What I would like for you to do is introduce yourselves. I'm going to go through as you are on my screen. I don't know how you see it on your screen, but I'm going to go through as I see it on my screen and let you introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is what? My name is, and then you can say what your business is and what you do, and then we'll see if anyone has any questions. And those of you who are here watching, if you have a question, feel free to put it in the comments, and I will see it. Ladies, do you see it from where you are? Can you see the comments from where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then you'll be able to see them. So first, I'm going to start with Katie because you're the first one on my screen.
Okie doke. That works. I needed to close my Facebook so it didn't reverb. So yeah, I'm Katie, since she said that already. My business is Hooked by Katie, and I design stuffed animals and teach people how to make them using well-written crochet patterns. Yeah, I've been in CBA for what? Is this like 3 years now? And it's taken my business to a whole different level. So I'm super happy to be here, and my studio exists because of Pam. She takes full credit. So
Someday I will visit. I'll take the drive up north and come see you.
Yeah. What I miss.
And all the cows in Greeley. No, that's good. Katie lives in a cow town.
I live 3 whole hours away. Oh.
From me, I know. Okay, so and Victoria, speaking about living far away, Victoria is joining us from London. And why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about what you do?
Right. So my name is Victoria. I live in London, as Pam said, and I've all my life been doing crochet. And 2 years ago, in full lockdown, I decided to transform my long life hobby into a business. And so, in that process, I found out that PAM existed and I joined. And so, this is my second year in CBA. And what I do is fashion items for ladies or for the house. So I like to put everybody pretty, ladies or living rooms. Doesn't matter.
So, and Victoria works in a high-end market, which is different than a lot of crochet sellers have. And I thought it would be great to have her here. If anybody has any questions about, being in a niche that is not kind of your normal selling crochet things that are super quick and easy and inexpensive to make. She sells things that are a higher end market, take longer to make, cost more, and she's marketing to people who are willing to pay that. So I'm glad that she is here. Thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time. I know it's probably getting late there. Um, but you had, I will just say something about you, that no matter when we schedule our calls, you are there. Whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning where you show up, you do the work. I just love that about you, that you're, no excuses. You're like, I'm going to show up. I'm paying to be in this group. I'm going to be there. So I love that about you. So okay, so Chanel is next. Tell us about you. Chanel is a new VIP member. She's been in our regular self-study CBA program for 8 months, I think, 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, since the summit, since the last summit.
Since June, then.
Yeah. So my name is Chanel. I'm in Texas currently, and I am a crochet amigurumi designer. And I right now also run my blog with like different tips and specifically like geared towards amigurumi because I feel like it's something that people are really scared to try. And it's not that hard. Like, so that's kind of my specialty. But yeah, I'm basically a pattern designer. CB Fabrics is my business. And yeah, I've only been in CBA since June of 2021, but I'm really excited to be in VIP. Like I've already gone through all the resources, at least looked at them. I'm going to go back there with a more thorough.
Nice. Well, you have hours and hours and hours of videos to watch, so
yeah,
you can binge watch CBA. Awesome. Okay, Michelle.
Okay, I'm Michelle. My business is Two Brothers Blankets. I am a designer. I design patterns for garments, women, men, kids, and accessories for your handmade wardrobe. And I work to show people that it is easier than it looks to create a garment that fits great and that you'll love. Awesome. And I've been in CBA for 3 years.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, and Tanya.
Hi. So I am the designer behind Nana's Crafty Home, and I've been with CBA, I think this is my second year. And I kind of meandered into the designing crochet business. I actually did not intend to be, when I started my blog in 2017, I actually thought I was going to be the crafty, recipe lady. I made cheese. I did all that stuff. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do some crochet because I've crocheted since I was a kid, 40 plus years. And my first designs went viral. So I never once released a recipe. So it kind of happened by accident a little bit for me. And so I kind of tended to do everything a little bit backwards. I was working full time and didn't really think that this would actually make me any money, and just thought it would be a fun little hobby for me to do. And then it started making money and I quit my job and now I do this full time. And I design pretty much everything for the home. I design clothing. I tend to do more of the cutesy home stuff though. So I'm like the gnome towel topper lady. People people actually
And
tell
that's
me
the
that.
virality. But those things do tend to go viral. So you're in a good space for that.
So I have
Nice.
learned so much, and I just love this group. I love how supportive you are, Pam, and I think that that's probably one of my favorite things about the group is the fact that you can come here and it's like your safe place that you can ask questions, and other people are going through the same things that you're going through, and you can say, hey, I'm having this trouble. What do you guys think? And everyone is just so helpful. So thank you all.
I love that. I really, really love the community, the Facebook community, and it feels different to me than any other community I see of business owners. Because everyone in the group is kind of that same mindset of, like I'm less inclined to just vent and more inclined to look for solutions, and um, less inclined to see the people around me as competition, and more I look at those people more as friends and peers and supporters, which is just, I think, really powerful that I don't think you get in a more wide open group that welcomes everybody in. And that's why I think it's so powerful. Okay, we do have one question, and those of you who have just joined us, if you have any questions about the Crochetpreneur Business Academy or what these ladies' experiences were like, either with CBA or just in growing a business, as far as how to manage life and growing a business, and those kinds of things, feel free to ask. So Elizabeth is asking, I'm exploring a niche that I don't know if anyone is doing. I like the challenge of repair, restoration, and completion projects. Do you know of anyone making this skill into a successful business? Do any of you know someone who is in that area, that space?
No, but I think that would be a really good niche to get into, or like especially if you were going to blog about it. Because I think that's.
I do get lots of questions in my group.
Me
I
too.
see a lot of things like, does anyone know how to fix this? This was my great grandmother's blanket and my dog chewed it. And, how do I take care of this? So yeah, I see a lot of questions about that in the groups and not a lot of answers.
The idea is so good that in BBC there is a program called The Repair Shop, where they repair everything which is antique, including fibers, clothes, puppets, amiguruini, anything which is old. And so there is a niche for that, I'm sure. I think the secret must be getting to be known. So expose yourself to the world and say, here I am, I'm doing this. Because everybody has something in the house which needs to be repaired. I'm dealing now with a quilt which is more or less 100 years old that a friend of mine, a local friend of mine, gave me to try to resolve something, because worse than it is, it can't stay.
It can't get worse.
Yeah.
I think it's a great service business, especially for other designers and stuff, because I mean, I know we joke about it, but if somebody would weave in all my ends, I would totally mail you something and pay it. So like,
yeah, I mean, that bit about completion, I know when I was quilting, I'm one of those people, like, I totally, in the Myers-Briggs, I am a P. I love to start things. I hate to finish things. And so when I was quilting, I would make the quilt tops and I would send them to my mom and she would finish it. And so it would be a collaborative project because I don't like finishing things. I don't like finishing my ends. I don't like sewing things together. I just like the beginning stages. So I agree with Victoria that marketing and getting yourself out there as crochet restoration services could be a really, really great business model for you. I think it's a really very niche and very rare skill to be able to look at a piece and figure out how to repair it and how to restore it. I know I have, because my husband is an auction junkie, and he also values crochet so much because of it's what I do, is he keeps buying things, vintage crochet, and bringing them home and saying, I had to save this because I understand how much work went into it, and it was headed for the trash. So I myself have boxes of crochet bits, doilies, and like probably 20 blankets, Afghans made out of thread. So I might need your services myself. So I think it's a great idea. Okay, next question is, I'm interested in CBA, but wondering if it is a go at your own pace. I've got 2 toddlers under 4, therefore I'm not always in charge of my own schedule. So I will just say, yes, it is go at your own pace. And I wonder if any of you ladies who have kids at home might speak to how you manage your business with little ones,
Big
or
one.
not so little ones, big
Yeah,
ones.
not so
You
big
take
one.
up your time. Michelle is
At
a
home.
homeschooling mom, so she has 2 boys that she's homeschooling. So that
Yeah.
comes with its own time pressures. So if you guys can speak a little bit about how you manage your time with your business.
Well, I joined right before we started homeschooling, I think, because it was 2019 and we started. No, it might have been right when we started homeschooling. About right around the same time I joined.
It was
So,
around the same time, yeah.
yeah, we had made the decision to homeschool, and now my boys, I have 10 and 12-year-old, almost 13, so they're a little bit older, and we've been doing it for 3 years, so it's a little more settled. But I will say, I think the more important part of it is self-paced, like Pam said. The more important part is, are you going to be willing to use what you learn in the self-paced course as you go and put that to action, and not use it as an excuse, the kiddos, because I've done that plenty. Because it's in little bits too. You can take 10 minutes a day to work on your business and get something accomplished. Nap time, after bedtime, stuff like that. You can, if it's a priority to learn the things you want to learn and put them into action, it will work. You'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really big piece of it, is to say, because any of us could find excuses in our day to say, I don't have time to work on my business. And then, so we have to learn to set boundaries with our own selves and then with the people around us. Because if your partner is used to you spending time with them in the evenings after the kids go to bed, and now you're trying to run a business while also caring for your children, then you take a couple of hours after bedtime to work on your business, and getting buy-in from your spouse or partner or whatever is important, so that you can maintain your personal relationships and your business and your schedule. But it's not impossible. So many people did it. I mean, I remember when Michelle started taking care of her nephews as well. And so she had an infant, a toddler, and her 2 boys homeschooling, and was still able to manage her business, grow her business bigger than it had ever been before, even during that time.
Yeah. And with Pam's, with the Academy, you'll learn ways to set up your business so that you're not having to you're not having to work all the time or work harder every time you want to get to the next step. You're making passive income, and you're having multiple streams of income coming in. So you're going to learn how to do all those things. And yeah, my sister moved down here last year, and I had started babysitting her when her 2 boys, when she got a job. And so I had 4 kiddos at home. So it's definitely doable. It's a mindset thing, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. And a self-care thing, to say, how am I going to take care of myself with kind of this these added tasks, and just making decisions around that. Okay, so the next question, I don't have a name on here, but it says, I've been holding back getting started on a business because of my age. I'm 64 and not very tech savvy. I feel this will hold me back. And then she said, Victoria, you have inspired me. Yay!
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm
Victoria's
65
doing
this year.
So she's
that
doing
doesn't
it.
exist. We are never too old to anything, right?
Yep.
Mm.
And even if it, like, I've noticed I'm pretty tech savvy. I mean, I used to be a software specialist, so I'm pretty tech savvy. But I've noticed even after I turned 50, things are a little bit harder and things are constantly changing. So it's constantly learning something new. So, like, giving yourself some grace and saying, I didn't grow up with technology. It doesn't just come naturally to most people who are, in the over 55, 60 age range. And just saying it might take me longer, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. And like really just saying, I'm going to, sit down, I'm going to learn this thing today. And you go look at YouTube videos and you watch software tutorials, and the information you need is out there. It's just about talking yourself down from the I can't do this, this is hard for me, and more into the like you're 64 years old, you've been through some stuff. You can get through this too. And so you can learn technology. You've learned a lot of things in your life and you can learn this too. So just kind of encouraging yourself that you can do it, I think is really important.
For me
Besides,
too. Oh, go ahead, Victoria.
besides, our life experience in crochet and in life helps a lot, especially when you are dealing with clients which are kind of difficult, right? So
Right. And so you
help.
bring in your wisdom, your
Yeah.
life wisdom. What were you going to say, Tanya?
Oh, I was just going to mention that one of the first things that I did once I started making money was to find someone who knew like website design, the tech stuff that was the really in the weeds. I that is not my forte. I was in customer service. I worked on computers. I learned software, but all of that programming piece, and when I had problems when my website would break, it would take me 2 days to figure out what broke it. It was like, why is this happening to me? And so I found a great local person, and he takes care of all of that for me. And that was a huge weight, because that would always stress me out. It's like, well, I don't know how to fix that. And it's going to take me forever to figure it out. So that was probably one of the best ways that I've spent my money, especially at the beginning.
I agree. I have a tech guy on call too. I think Katie, do you as well? And I
Yeah.
think Michelle is on his
No,
list.
I missed out. I'm on his wait list for like
So
a
once
year.
once he has spots open, Michelle will get on his list. But like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my website. Send an email. Something's wrong. Go fix it.
Yeah.
And just letting someone else do it for you is amazing.
Well, and it brings up a good point. Just because you start out your business by yourself as like a one person show doesn't mean it has to be that way forever. Or there's a lot of us in CBA that are just reaching that spot. In fact, we all talked about it today in our mastermind, that it was like, we're just reaching that place where now we need to branch off and see what we can delegate and what other people can do. So just because you're not into like one core aspect of it doesn't mean that you have to abandon the entire idea of having a business. Just means you're, that piece you're probably going to delegate.
Yep. Help is out there. And once you start making money, okay, so it might sound like I'm trying to sell you, but I just want to say, I think the benefit of having a program that walks you through how to do this is that you can start making money more quickly so that you can start investing in that help that you need. The longer it takes you to be profitable, the longer it's going to be hard. That was my experience until I started asking people or paying people for their insights and their wisdom. It was just kind of running around saying, okay, now I don't know how to do this next thing, or I didn't even know I was supposed to do that next thing, and now I know. And so you can save yourself that heartache and the stress and the overwhelm by having a strategy to walk you through that in the beginning and get you to a place where you're profitable. So, okay, next question is, how do you market your business online, especially on Facebook, without it looking like you're self-promoting or spamming? Does anybody want to talk about that?
So are you talking about like in other Facebook groups or like having your own page? I guess.
I think the best thing you can do is have your own place.
If you're on your page, if you've made a Facebook business page, it's expected that you're going to be self-promoting there because that's your business and you're talking about yourself. That's how you're going to. Facebook for me was probably the key to getting a following, more so than any other social media platform. Those are the people that get me. Those are the people that follow me. Those are the people who are like my people on Facebook. Pinterest is more of like the fly by night people. They see it and they come. Some stay, but my Facebook people are the ones that really, and they expect me to self-promote to them. Now, I do try to do that within bounds. I still want to offer them something that they feel like I'm not constantly trying to sell them something. I offer a lot of free patterns, but I share a lot of other designers' works as well because it's really important to me to support other designers. And so I will share other designers' works on my Facebook page. And I am constantly getting people, I love being here on your Facebook page because you share other people's work. You're not only sharing your own stuff, you know. And so I'm always getting emails about that. I follow you because of that. And if you are giving them value, if you are, you know, promoting yourself, talking about your designs, but you're also giving them other value as well, they're going to stick around and they're going to become your people if they like that. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. Now, you start going out into other groups and you're constantly bombarding people with you in other people's Facebook groups. That's going to get annoying pretty quickly to a lot of people really fast.
I think a lot. Oh, go ahead.
There's a lot of Facebook groups out there. And I mean, that's a good place to say, like, if somebody's looking for a tiger pattern, you can be like, hey, I have one. Like, yes. But you also need to put more out there than just, like she was saying, you need to put more out there than just your own stuff. Answer people's questions when they come up in groups. Like, you know, give advice when somebody asks for how to weave an end in or is stuck on a pattern. Like, be involved in the community more than just, hey, look at the thing I did. Like, you know, become a part of it. And then people, you gain everybody's trust that way too, because you know, you're in the community now. You're not just a salesman.
Right. I 100% agree. So many people go into the Facebook groups and like, here's my pattern, go get it. And then they're like, I'm out, you know, and they're like, I could care less about you. I want you to give me your money. And then they go to the next group. Here's my pattern. See ya. You know, doing that in all of the groups that they're in, and you're like, okay, I just saw that person in like 6 different groups. Who was that? Because I have no relationship with them. I never see them in this group. They don't talk to anybody. They're just like totally here for themselves. I'm not buying from them. So, you know, keep a check on that because it's a real thing. And I would say more people than not do that because people are selfish and we are people and we forget I need to not be selfish. I need to realize that I need to give back to this community too. And sharing my pattern is not giving, it's not 100% about giving value to the people on the other end of the screen. You really want them to give you their money. So there's not a like, here's this thing. Even if it's free, you're still saying, come to my blog because I want to get ad money from you. So, think about how you can give back to the community without it being any benefit to you aside from creating relationships. And that will help you not look so salesy. And if, you know, without it looking like you're self-promoting, if you are self-promoting, then you're self-promoting and be honest about it. There are people who are super dishonest about their self-promotion where they'll post, well, they'll take pictures of themselves and they'll Photoshop someone else's face on it and they'll create a new Facebook account and pretend to be a different person than they really are and be like, look at this adorable pattern. You should go buy it. I got it from this designer when it's really them posting it.
Oh,
don't do that.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It is. So that's a thing. And don't do that. So like, don't be spammy and own it when you're self-promoting, but don't just self-promote. I hope that makes sense.
Somebody says that's way too much work. I agree. Why would you even do that? Like,
We'll have so much fun.
that sounds exhausting.
They're like creating their own social proof. When if your things are awesome, social proof will happen.
Yes.
If you are giving back to people, social proof will happen. So anyway, okay, next person is I'm wanting where was that? I'm wanting to sell finished products like crochet bags, but they are time consuming. Any suggestions on how to market and reach the right customer? Anybody want? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you make a nice bag, you have to find a way to show it. That's the strategy I take here. Anything I make goes out to the street, goes to have coffee with me, passes by the park. People ask me things. I keep answering, and the appetite begins. In fact, that question relates to the previous answer Pam was giving. If you show someone there is a really value for the person who is watching it, and you manage to put the person to dream, because our satisfaction is made up with dreams, and ladies have vanity, and so that's the way to go. The bag must click on some soft point of someone. Of course, I know that here in my neighborhood is quite easy to know the soft spots because I know the people, but we've got to find a way to get that on our online posts, because it's equivalent, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you show something, they can be pretty, handy, help them with the things for the kids or whatever. It always helps to sell.
Yeah, and I think too, like what Victoria is saying is that getting it into in front of the person who wants it, she knows that those people live in her neighborhood. She's in an exclusive kind of area of London. The women who want to spend money on things are there, and so they see these things that she has, and they're automatically interested because she has her target market pinpointed. And so she can go out and see them. Whereas when you're on social media, you say, where do they hang out? And how do I get this thing in front of them? So, especially product sellers, you need to think about how do I market like how would I market like Kate Spade, right? Kate Spade sells expensive bags. How do I market like Coach? How do I market like Michael Kors? How do I market like whatever? And not how do I market like these other crochet people I see on Instagram, because those people are attracting other crocheters. Most crochet sellers are attracting crocheters to their social media, so when they put something out for sale, those crocheters want the pattern. They don't want to buy that product. So you have to really work at saying, how do I really embrace my role as brand rather than as crocheter. And that way you can think about where are the people who are buying these things hanging out? What hashtags are they using? How can I get my things in front of them? Maybe using brand reps or using micro influencers, people that they watch in the fashion industry. How do you get your products? How do you get those people to have those products on their pages so that they can market those for you? So it's a totally different marketing mindset than a designer would use. And I think a lot of product sellers forget that. And then they end up sabotaging their business and saying nobody cares about buying handmade products and nobody will pay you what they're worth, when in reality, their marketing and messaging is totally off. So you need to like really own that.
And I know I'm a designer, but I started out selling physical products too. But that was probably the biggest like slap in the face when I started CBA. Was one of the first things you do is you name your avatar and you come up with the person that you're selling to. And Pam walks you through the whole thing, and the whole time I'm going, I didn't even know this person existed. Oh my gosh, and this is not who I've been marketing to. And it changes your entire outlook to finally have that right direction, that right person to point your business to. I know she doesn't want to toot her own horn, but it was like the moment that was like, oh my gosh, Pam, thank you. I had no idea I was trying to sell to people that didn't even want me. Like, but there were these people that did, and I didn't know they were there. So, that's the thing, is you find who they are, and then those are who you market to. You don't try to sell to everybody, because not everybody loves you.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. Yeah. It's the basis of everything, isn't it? Knowing who you're selling to.
And it changes too.
Oh yeah.
It does change. It changes over time.
I think I refine that exact lesson like once a year. I go back and do all of module 1 over to remind myself, like, okay, am I still following the path I set for myself? Am I still selling to the same person I was?
I mean, mine has changed, and I've only been in like 8 months. Like, I originally thought I was selling to a market that was like 30 to 40-year-old women and crocheters and people who knew it. And I'm going through module 1 again, and I realized my market is really my age, like 20 to 30-ish, and it's just more comfortable for me there, and I'm seeing a lot more growth in that. So that's kind of where I'm heading now, but it's pretty fun.
Good. I love that. It can change in a matter of months, or you make one decision, or you recognize something new about yourself, and you're like, oh, now I got to go back and start over again. But it's a lot easier. The more you do it, the more you just be like, okay, I just need to shift my message and shift the way I'm speaking to people. So, okay. I'm wanting to. Okay, when coming up with a business name, how do you check? Okay, so Joyce, you had asked before, how do you check to be sure that someone else isn't already using it beyond searching Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram? Okay, so you need to search for domain names. You need to search on Etsy. You need to search on Ravelry, and you need to search your state Secretary of State's office if you're in the U.S. Secretary of State's office and the U.S. Trademark Office. All of those things are important. Even if something is not trademarked, a lot of people just go there. Oh, it's not trademarked, I can use it. And that's not the case. Because if someone has a business name that is similar to the one that you want to use, and they've been using it in the same space before you, and you start your business, they can come after you. They can then register their trademark that wasn't registered before, and they can tell you have to stop using that name. So it's better to pick a name up front that has nothing similar to it. Like if Michelle's business is Two Brothers Blankets. If somebody starts a business called Three Brothers Blankets, she could go after them and be like, you can't do that. It's confusing. You're creating confusion in the marketplace, and you're using my business name to take customers from me by causing confusion, whether intentional or not. So Michelle could tell them, you have to rebrand your business, and you just don't want to do that. So be really careful about how you name your business. Someone said that's way too much work. I don't know what you're referring to, but
that was the
making a
changing
bot.
your
the
profile
crazy
and marketing yourself.
I use my own stuff when I'm out and about too. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you. That makes sense. Awesome. Okay, does anybody else have any questions before we let these ladies go? They graciously gave up their afternoons. It's been kind of a busy day. We had our master class earlier today, and then so now we have this. And so they've been on screen for a while today. Me too, because I had 2 meetings before that. So, okay, I don't see any more questions. So I'm going to let you ladies go back to work. If you would like to, if you have a, what's the word? Oh, an affiliate link to CBA, and you want to go into the Facebook group and add it in the comments, feel free to do that. And then for those of you who are watching, if you're like, oh, I really resonated with this person, or their answer really helped me or whatever, go in and click on their affiliate link if you want to sign up for CBA so that they get credit for being awesome. and taking their time out to be here. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. And I will see you all next week. And I hope that those of you who do want to join CBA, if you still have any questions, feel free to, send a message, ask a question in the Facebook group. These ladies will be around as well. They can answer any questions. And I think that's it. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.